Welcome back, everybody. It's the Aces NFL show. Sip in the building once again. We are, I think 9 sleeps away, Sip, as we record this podcast. So we are going to be breaking down all the future bets, mainly the NFL awards. A little teaser for next week. Before week 1, we're going to do our divisions and how we break them down. We just need a little bit more time. There's a few more trades happening. But we're here to talk about the future bets and the NFL awards. That is Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year. That's the same thing for the rookies. And then we go Comeback Player of the Year, MVP, Coach of the Year, Super Bowl predictions. It's a little bit early, but not really. 9 more sleeps, Sip. Let's break down last week's show, the Fantasy Gems. What about today before we get to breaking news? I mean, we're going to talk about breaking news. I might as well mention Amari Cooper signs with the Raiders, and then your man, Jacoby Myers, says, I want out of here. And we just posted that on socials last night, great. So that was pretty funny to wake up to.
He'll still value, mate. He'll still be value wherever he goes, mate. Don't worry about that. Just pick him up and away we go.
8th round gem, by the way. Our man Morgs put that up and didn't put it in the caption. Some people think you're going for him in the first 3 rounds. It was an 8th round gem, guys. But that's actually exciting.
Just listen to the potty and then you'll understand what we're talking about. That's okay. Love it.
Plenty of feedback online, by the way, wasn't there? Hey? I mean, what's going on? I thought
when you don't know your shit, Tommy, I guess you're going to deserve.
How many points did I win that thing last year by the fantasy league?
You did average a fair amount each week. There's no doubt about that. So
what's his name?
I know we appreciate all the feedback. You know, some of you are absolute idiots, but that's okay.
What about this clown? Tom's Word, his name is. Your first, not a bad first name though, but telling me all NFL teams have committee rooms. Bell cow backs are dead. He reckons. You have no idea what you're saying. He reckons.
If there weren't bell cows, then there'd be no running backs taken in the first round, I reckon, in fantasy league. So we'll just leave it there.
We will leave it there because I didn't leave it there. I did reply, but geez, it took me 10 minutes just to cool my jets. I wish you could send audio messages on Instagram just to let this bloke know what I thought of him. But well, let's touch on the NFL news. Woke up this morning and Terry McLaurin, 3 years, about 96 mil. About time they did that. That's fantastic for Washington.
Good timing. He has been training, so it's not like he's been out of the building or anything like that while trying to negotiate it, even though there was early stages to it. But he's that's big for Washington. He's a big part of them. They've got Debo there as well. Like that's some serious firepower over there, and let alone their quarterback. I'm excited, honestly, about what the Commanders do, and to get him locked away. That's a big part of their future.
It talks to a couple of my NFL awards later on. I'm pretty happy with that re-signing.
There we go.
Let's go to the Bengals, and they have agreed to a new deal with Trey Hendrickson. Finally, they get it done. They gave him a 1-year deal with a $14 million raise. So he's in a contract year.
Yep.
I like that. But he needs to prove his worth. And you wonder how they're going to pay all these blokes with all the money they spend on offense just through 3 players. But it's great to see.
He's proven his worth, though, hasn't he, Tommy?
He's
the leading sack guy last year. Hasn't he not proven his worth already? He's been their leading sack guy for the years and in previous years. Has he not proven it already, though?
He has, but that's why I'm staggered. It's only just a 1-year little $14 million raise.
I'm interested in that too. Like, great, he signed his 1 year, but yeah, I mean, I know they have spent cash everywhere else. I know that, but I just find that interesting. Like the one lone guy you've got on defense that is the guy that is a game changer for you, and you only sign him to a 1-year deal. I find that interesting. And hey, I just think if you got guys like that, you want to lock away their talent as much as possible. But maybe there's something that we're not too sure about. But anyway.
Plenty of other trades around the league, but they're the main ones on offense when it comes to fantasy. And obviously, Kenny Pickett has been traded to the Raiders. He'll be the backup. I like that. Gives him a little bit more stability. I love what Tom Brady is doing behind the scenes. They reckon he's trying to go as aggressive as possible.
Yep.
And they are, I think, obviously with the Micah Parsons stuff, they'd be the club that'll be like, come on, we'll have him. But obviously Jerry's saying he's not up for sale. I think I saw a report that the Packers offered 2 first rounders, a second and maybe a 6th, and he said he's not for sale. So going to be a little bit of watch this space.
Jerry Jones has a very rich history of being able to do that. It's I'm actually watching the Cowboys documentary on Netflix right now, and I thought maybe Jerry Jones was just a recent thing, but he did this stuff with Emmitt Smith back in the 90s, holding out, not willing to budge. They lose their first 2 games of the season or something when they're in their literal Super Bowl phase, and Gary Jones ends up making an idiot of himself and having to give him the highest deal anyway.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I mean, come on, man. Like, what? Seriously, history cannot repeat itself. Just get the job done, man. He's your best player by a long way.
The Bengals did it last year with Jamar Chase.
Jamar
Chase has milked about an extra 30 mil out of the Bengals.
It's just silly. Like, you know what his production is, and just get it done. Like, get it done.
Get it done. Now, that's exactly what we're going to do right now with the NFL Awards 2025-26. We're going to start with Defensive Player of the Year, Sip, and we're going to work our way down. I can start, you tell me. But the way I'd like you to do it is just talk about the player that you think will win it, but the player that you want to have your money on. When you get the PointsBet app open and you think, I'm going to have a little play here, it is a future market. There's obviously some odds that when they're really short, it's hard to play, but when there's some value, it's well worth it. So talk about who you think will win it and who you want to have a play on.
Tommy, I'm actually going to go with my little smoky first, and I'm actually going to go with Derek Stingley Jr. of the Houston Texans. Now, his value right now as we stand is at $61. I think that the Texans are going to be a little bit more on defense this year, just with who they're playing, but he is a genuine cornerback of the NFL. He's an absolute star. He's a ball hunter, locks down the key position guys in the wide receiver position, and he is my genuine smoky. I think he can really shake it up there. They have got some extra firepower in the backfield there as well from safeties with Gardner Johnson there, which I think allows Stingley Jr. to be able to be more aggressive and really play a lockdown. You might see him be taking a few more catches, which might be really handy. So he's my little smoky right now. But
$61 on PointsBet.
Yeah, I'm really happy with that. So that's my smoky that I think. But I think when you come to with a bit lower odds than that, the guy that just comes to mind for me is Myles Garrett. He's an absolute monster. His training camp vision against the Eagles during the preseason, that he's blowing up Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata, who are two of some of the best offensive tackles in the absolute game, and he is just destroying them. So I just think he's a guy that's a man on a mission. They're going to be out there enough anyway. He's an absolute monster, and Myles Garrett's the one for me at $9 right now to take out Defensive Player of the Year.
He won it in 2023, and obviously Pat Surtain won it last year at cornerback. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the defensive ends normally clean up.
Shake it up with the sacks and that.
I think a cornerback's a real high-risk play, so that's why Stingley Jr., he's $61. But $9 in the market there for your man, and third favourite, I don't mind that at all. I think you can't go wrong with someone like the great. I mean, when you look at his rig, you can't go wrong with it. You see him and Jordan Mailata just doing some sort of, content for the Browns and Eagles. And I was going, how's the rig on this bloke?
Have you seen him playing hoops and that over there during the off-season? The guy's got to jump on him. He's 260 pounds, and he's just crazy movement. It's scary.
So I've done a little bit of research on the Defensive Player of the Year, and it's that sweet spot between the third and fifth year is what they kind of say. There's not a lot of players that have won it in their first or second year. So kind of ruled out some stars, and obviously we know the pass counts for nothing.
Yeah.
But it does all point to Micah Parsons on paper.
Yeah.
The only problem is his contract drama. If he was all sorted, I'd be loving it. Now, he's obviously going to have to put out a big year, fourth year, all the noise. But the worry for me is, does he hold out a couple of games? Because if he misses about 3 or 4, then you're kind of cooked, I think. You're talking about stats at the end of the year and whatnot. So I kind of, as a favourite at $7 in the market, I was like, I'm not going to play there. I had a look at some others. Max Crosby's someone that if you just take out last year, he was a bit injured. Previously, I think he had a 14.5 sack season the year before. He's flying, and I love what the Raiders are doing. So $17, 8th in the market. I think I'll have a little play there. Mm-hmm. But the roughie for me, off the back of today, Trey Hendrickson, who comes second last year for the Bengals, he's $34. He gets some support in the draft, their first round pick. He's all signed up as well. He's going to have a little bit more pressure off the edge there. So, I was thinking, if he can continue what he did last year or just do the same thing, we know how banged up some of these players can get, or Micah Parsons misses a couple of games because of this contract holdout.
Yes, no doubt.
At $34 in the market, I was thinking he's a really good roughie. So I'm pointing that way. It's a real tough one. There's so many players, TJ Watt, Bosa, they're all superstars, but I looked at Jalen Carter as well. I just thought his stats aren't that high. If you watch the game, he's a beast, but I like players that get a heap of sacks. So
I agree.
I'm thinking, Max Crosby or Trey Hendrickson is someone I want to have a little play there.
Yeah, I like it. I don't mind that at all. Very good.
Let's go to the offensive player of the year. This is one that's a little bit easier for me. There's a lot of players you can pick.
There's stars everywhere.
There are stars. Can I just reiterate the trend is your friend here?
Yeah.
The last 2 years, running backs.
Yep.
And it's rarely a quarterback. I think I sent you a screenshot earlier.
because the quarterback award's normally for the MVP, so that's why they normally leave that alone and give it to somebody else for the offensive player of the year. So no doubt that the running back room right now is probably the way you would go.
So here's the last few winners. So 2018, Patty Mahomes, he's the last quarterback to do it. Then he went 2019, Michael Thomas. Can you believe it?
Unbelievable.
Derrick Henry 2020, Cooper Kupp 2021, Justin Jefferson 2022, and then Christian McCaffrey 2023 and Saquon Barkley 2024. Yeah. Even though the Triple Crown winner, Jamar Chase, did what he did, he still did not win that award. So running backs for me is where I'm going to look. But let's start with you. Who have you got?
Geez, it's widespread. Like I think I'm glad you find it easy. I don't find it as easy because there is just stars everywhere on this table. But the one that stands out for me, and I think, as I've said, I'm not too sure how it's going to go, but I think their offense will definitely be better, and it is Bijan Robertson. And he's right now is at $15. He's third year in the system now, a young quarterback that's definitely going to be relying on him, and I think he's just ready to explode. In all honesty, I think he's just ready to go. So $15 right now. We know what he's capable of. If he stays healthy, which I think that he will, he's in a pretty good division as well, I might add, to really be able to get some points up. And Bijan Robertson is my pick for Offensive Player of the Year.
I like it. He's going to be a very big fan favourite in fantasy.
Tommy's smiling right now because, again, he's got pick 2 and his eyes are lighting up as we speak about this is where I'm going.
Well, I don't know where I'm going yet. There's a jersey that you're wearing and I might be going that way now. The more I do some more research.
He is also a star. So if I think you're going in the direction that I'm thinking. But yes, he's very, very good too.
I think 2025, 2026 Offensive Player of the Year will be Jahmyr Gibbs. The more I look into this guy, he's explosive. Even Monty on a podcast, I think it was The Pivot, he said, this guy's going to have a hell of a year. I'm going to probably step out of his way a little bit more this year. Yeah. Jahmyr Gibbs is so explosive. He's so fast. He can catch the ball. He can run the ball. And I like the fact they've got a little committee, as they would say, because I like Monty doing a little bit of ground and pound early, letting them get a bit fatigued, and then in comes the speedster. Yeah. At $13 in the market, I don't think Saquon Barkley will repeat what he did last year. I think they'll save him a little bit more. Jamar Chase, I think he'll have an enormous year, but I just have a feeling Jahmyr Gibbs is going to explode. And at $13, I'm going to look at the running back market. I probably think Jamar Chase, he might want that award. So if I'm going to go wide receiver, I'll take the $9 with Jamar Chase because I think there's going to be a high-powered offense and a lot of passing yards. I just don't know about that defense for the Bengals. So they're going to be required to put up a lot of points. But I think Detroit will be the same. I think they've lost a fair bit of, as we said, leadership on the coaching side of things. And I reckon they might be they're in a tough division and and they do put up a lot of points. But I think he might be someone I'm looking for. So Jahmyr Gibbs is the guy that I'll be selecting. I'll normally do a roughie in this field, but I've just gone Jahmyr Gibbs out there, Sid. So we'll stay there.
I'm good with that. What happens if two quarterbacks, both dominant years? Is that a thing where they have to consider Offensive Player of the Year there? If one of them's
more the MVP award.
Yeah, you can only give the MVP to one. So do you?
I know that. And the more that I looked into it, though, it seems to be that the playmakers get the Offensive Player of the Year. You think about last year, Lamar Jackson how close was he to winning another MVP?
Oh, no doubt. Yeah.
So Josh Allen wins it, but there was no mention of him in Offensive Player of the Year. It was Saquon Barkley, Jamar Chase. I mean, he was probably mentioned, but it was a two-horse race. So I'm looking at your specialists in that kind of field there. And by the way, like you scroll all the way down, there is so much juice.
Yes, there is. You could honestly, there is enough juice elsewhere to be able to have a sneaky little crack at for sure.
Ashton Genty, $76. Like that's a lot of that's high odds for someone that could do what Zeke did when he introduced himself to the world. But anyway, let's get to the rookie markets. We'll start with the defensive rookie of the year. Have you had a look at this market, and do you like what you see?
Well, the clear standout is Abdul Carter, isn't it? It's hard to honestly go anywhere else. He's the standout. You know he's going to get the rep straight away. He's an absolute monster of a man. And he just stands clearly out to me. The other little smoky that I would look at, though, is Jaheed Campbell from Philadelphia Eagles. I think he was a bit of a steal in the draft. He was the Eagles' first pick late in the first round there, dropped a little bit. They're really, really happy with how he's going. He's the hybrid linebacker / edge. He might come in and do a little bit of damage. He's really going to be working next to, some top guys there that did a great job. Zach Bourne there in the linebacker position. He's got great, help there around there. And they've got some opportunities for guys on the edge like Nolan Smith and that to be able to come in and really impact. But this is another guy that's that hybrid guy that I think can have an impact. So he's my little smoky there at $17, but it's hard to go past Abdul Carter right now. He's a clear standout. The number one defensive guy coming out of the draft, and I think he's just going to come in and make an instant impact for sure.
Everything I've seen, they reckon this guy is a superstar. So at $2.80 in the market, I'm just going to mention his name. I think that's where you play. It's a good future bet though, that one. I think it's they've got a really interesting defense. I know that you don't rate the Giants, but they actually have done. The more that I look into the Giants, I think from when we had our first podcast 4 or 5 weeks ago, the more I'm liking what they're building. They've, Burns, Thibodeau, and now you have this guy, Abdul Carter.
Dexter Lawrence is an absolute monster on the D-line as well. Don't get me wrong. They've got some guys there that can
D-line's
get up
scary. So if he can do his thing, it's going to be fun to watch.
My only issue, again, as I said, is how much are they going to be out on the park? Like, you can only do so much there if you're spending 40 minutes out in there on a 60-minute game trying to do it. So I find that very interesting. But they are dangerous if you can get them off the park and the offense can try and get rolling a little bit at the Giants.
The only smoky I've got is in case there was maybe an injury or whatever, but Stewart from Cincinnati Bengals, the fact that Hendrickson's there as well, I think he might be a playmaker, and they've got to they sometimes put 2 players on the other guy so then they can get to work. At $17 in the market, I think he's about, 7th in the market. He's a nice little play, but again, if you're going to play, it's Abdul Carter for mine.
Yep.
All right, offensive rookie of the year. This is wide open. There's plenty to talk about here, and I'd love to know where you're going to play first while I get up the list of the last few winners.
Well, my first interesting question is, what is Travis Hunter going to do?
Offense is the one. That's what I'm reading is wide receiver 2.
And I think that too. So I find that very interesting because you look at the markets, like defensively he's at $13 right now and offense he's at $11. So I don't really know which way to go for him. But he's an interesting one to keep an eye on. There are a couple of really, really good ones that I like here. One is McMillan from the Carolina Panthers. Wide receiver. I think he's one that can be really one to look out for. And obviously Henderson, the running back from the New England Patriots, is another one that I have got my eyes on. Everyone knows that I love Matthew Golden. I think he can do something really special. He's at $23 for offensive rookie of the year. I really, really like. So I'm leaning towards him and what he's going to be able to produce. I think there's opportunity there, as I've said previously, with the other wide receivers not being able to stay out on the park consistently. And I think he's the one guy that can really use that opportunity and take it with Jordan Love being his quarterback. But the one guy that I'm really, really excited about, and I think that's going to get a lot of opportunity in the running back position, is Omarion Hampton. He is, the more that I've watched him and what he's been able to do throughout the preseason there, I'm like, wow, the kid's got something. And at $9 right now as it stands, I think he can have a massive impact. I think they love the running game, as we've mentioned previously. He's got guys that, where Herbert's an absolute star. They're going to have to pass at some point and they have to break the lines for him. But he's one that could catch fire pretty quickly.
You just stolen one of mine there, Sip. I think, what did he throw out 3 there, Harrow? I was like, come on, wrap it up because I've got money. He's stolen my bloke. There you go. I've got the list of the last.
I like his head just shaking like, where's he going? Where's he going?
No. I was like,
with him.
You have. The last 10 winners, Jaden Daniels, quarterback, CJ Stroud, quarterback, Garrett Wilson, wide receiver, Jamar Chase, wide receiver, Justin Herbert, quarterback, Kyler Murray, quarterback, Saquon Barkley, running back, Alvin Kamara, running back, Dak Prescott, quarterback, and Todd Gurley, running back. I look at it and I just think it's a quarterback award. I think Cam Ward's looked really good. He is the favourite in the market. I just can't go past him. He's going to play all year. He's only $3. So at $3.50 he is on PointsBet actually. But if you want a little bit of value, I think the best play is to go Amari and Hampton, the LA Chargers running back. We know that he should start week 1 if he can explode. The big beast, I remember Harbaugh said, there's nothing wrong with having weapons on your O-line. Yeah. And I really think Chicago, I think the Chargers are a huge go this year. I don't know. I love the culture. I love the coach. I love what they're building. And he's just like kind of brick by brick, you know what I mean? And the quarterback gets more time in the pocket. You got this, couple weapons at running back. Keenan Allen just come across. Lad McConkey. You got Quentin. They got a lot of playmakers now, and their defense is always pretty sound. So I think he might get to work. And the only problem with their quarterback, like Cam Ward, is how good can they be? Normally you go pick one because your team's trash.
Yes.
So he might ball out the next couple of years, and then the roughie would be like Jackson Dart if he was to play.
Somehow take over and that,
It might be halfway through the year, which kind of
takes it away anyway.
Exactly,
it makes it hard.
So,
that's the thing with the rookie there. It has to be guys that essentially are playing from the get-go.
So I think that's why the market throughout the year is worth live betting.
No doubt.
So in terms of when you have a bet now, I think the best play would definitely be Amari and Hampton at $9, third in the market. There's no real point for me having a go at $3.50 for a future market. You can almost get a little same gamer going to get more excitement. But I really like Amari and Hampton. We were big on him in the fantasy gems, and I love the fact we're still talking about him. So lock him in for me and you, Sid.
Yep.
Lock him in. That'll be fun to watch later on. All right, we've got a few more to get through, but this one for me is the best of the year. This is the best bet of the year. When I did the awards, I thought this is a lock. It's a lock.
You reckon?
So I'm going to go first.
Comeback player of the year?
Comeback player of the year, Aiden Hutchinson by the Flemington Straight. $3.50 in the market. He's second in the market for defensive player of the year. This guy is an animal. And for comeback player of the year, he broke his leg last year. He is ready to go. This is the best bet of the year for me in the future market. I have full confidence. A lot of these markets you're guessing. But for this, I think it's just an absolute lock. The only guy around him is Christian McCaffrey, but I still think Aiden Hutchinson, $3.50, eat it up.
Yeah.
Over to you.
It's a pretty good bet. It's hard to go past, isn't it?
I can't go past him.
The guy is so damaging. I was going to do it just for shits and gigs and put up Dak Prescott after what you said.
Jeez, Joe Milton the third really fucking rolled me in preseason 1 and 2. I'm going, geez, I actually told the boys, hold on that post. Wait till game 3.
Oh, unreal. I was going to be a sneaky dog about it and do that one, but it is hard to go past Aiden Hutchinson. He is an absolute star. You know what he's capable of doing. He's an absolute weapon. He was leading the sacks for the year before he got injured. He had 7 sacks in 5 games.
He was huge.
That's absurd numbers. And before he got injured, and what he is capable of doing on that D line for the Detroit Lions is no doubt a main reason why is they probably didn't get deeper in the end. So I think you're right. I think spot on. He's an absolute weapon. I think it's too hard to be able to go past him. My real smoky though.
Just tell me the odds before you say it.
$76.
Oh, well, that's smoky. Gee whiz.
Real smoky.
That is just.
I'm going out there. That is Cooper Kupp, my man. Cooper Kupp.
Wow.
Watch out. Seahawks, new opportunity. Darnold, more than fine being the quarterback. Will I see them doing anything crazy? No, I don't. But I know. I think I know what Cooper Kupp is more than capable of doing. 3 years ago, he literally was a leading receiver by an absolute long way. Almost broke the record.
2021, yeah.
That's only 2 or 3 years ago. Get him back on the park and get him healthy in the slot position there. There's no reason why I don't think he can shake it up. He's my genuine Smokey, of course. We always need to put a couple out there, I reckon.
Yeah,
and
of course.
I like that one.
Yeah,
I mean,
now that I've got my eyes on the $76 market, Jair Alexander at $76.
I knew you would.
Well, he was one of the best corners in the league two years ago.
Yeah, no doubt.
And now he plays at the Ravens, who they play hard.
Yep.
So at $76, if you want to look there, that's someone. And the only other one at $15 was Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
Just because Joe Mixon, he's going to miss the first 4 weeks, and potentially the first half of the season. If Nick Chubb is back. If you saw what he did to his legs and he had a good start to the year, what do you think, Harrow? At $15, I think that is a nice little juicy play.
Yep. Yeah, I think he's pretty good, just in case Joe Mixon isn't in there. Mind you, viewers, I'm a bit sick, so my voice is a bit hair-go. But I think if pending a suspension, Rashee Rice at $51.
They reckon 6 weeks, though. They reckon 6 weeks. And I think what you're saying, if it wasn't a suspension, then Rashee Rice is a wide receiver 1, and I love that. But the NFL probably doesn't want to reward someone like that in their first year back. So I think he's it's certainly at $51. That's probably why. But it's a good fun market, that. Aiden Hutchinson should win it. But yeah, if it was some sort of mishap, there's a lot of juice in that one. So you have your little $10 play there at PointsBet and hold on. They're pretty fun. Well, we'll get to the business end in a second. Let's go to Coach of the Year before we get to MVP and Super Bowl predictions. Coach of the Year for you? It's an interesting coach of the. It's hard, isn't it? It's like, is it the coach that overperforms, or is it the coach that's just consistent? And and the market's got some weird coaches for mine at the top.
Ones. Looking at it right now, like weird ones, like
Ben Johnson favourite.
Yeah,
like really
crazy, isn't it?
I understand he's clearly gonna. They're gonna get way better. But
no doubt.
I just thought that's. I don't know.
Mike Verbal,
Vrabel's going to do a great job, but what's a pass mark? What's a pass mark for Vrabel? Comes second in the division.
Not pass, that's going to be pretty good going if they finish second in the division.
The Jets and
and
Miami.
I mean, I know Miami, but I still think Miami can be okay. I think still finishing second. I still expect Miami to be.
Well, he can't come third and then get Coach of the Year.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't have him in there, to be honest. So. I think $8 is actually way too short, so I am a bit surprised by that. But I'm leaning towards Sean Payton.
I like that. I've got him. Are you looking at my run sheet?
Dead set or not, but I like Sean Payton at $15. I know they made the playoffs last year and they probably exceeded a little bit of expectation, but I'm really convinced that they can win it. They can win that division. So if they win that division against the Chiefs and the Chargers, I think he has to be considered for Coach of the Year. I just see them doing some real damage. They have got some weapons now there. Their defense is elite, and they have added extra firepower on the offense. And I think if they win the division, he has to be heavily considered to be Coach of the Year. So at him at $15 right now, I am a big fan of.
I love that we're on the same page early. We are on the same page. It's the end of August, Sip, and we are talking the same language. I've gone one better as well. Jim Harbaugh, he's $21, 12th in the market. I've written Chiefs throne, and I've got Sean Payton underneath. So they're 9th and 12th in the market. I firmly believe that the Coach of the Year will be one of those two if they can take the Chiefs down. The Chiefs have won that division for I don't know how long.
Yeah.
But
it's 8 years straight running, if I'm corrected.
And if you go off the back of the Super Bowl, I don't know what the stats are. I probably should have had a quick look before today. But when you get spanked, I mean, I convert to AFL. It's a bit like Sydney. They always say if you get spanked by a certain margin, you don't make the top 8 the next year. And that's happened again, and it always happens. So I think that this year there could be a little change. Now, they look sharp in the preseason game, I must say. They've got an amazing defense, and Mahomes is one of the best quarterbacks of all time. But if the Chargers or the Broncos can win the division, I think their coach becomes Coach of the Year. And at $15 for Sean Payton and $21 for Jim Harbaugh, I reckon that is a great little play. So that's where I'm going to go. Anywhere else, I'm staying away.
Love it. Perfect.
Last year, I said Mike McDonald.
Yep.
They probably They were okay. I could
They
follow
fell
up
off a little bit
I could
towards
follow
the end
up,
there,
'cause
but
that's
you
another
could.
division.
Yeah.
Another division that's wide open. If Matt
Yeah.
Stafford's back's cooked,
Yeah.
Arizona, them, and San Fran, there's a lot of dramas at San Fran with injuries, especially their wide receiver room. That's wide open as well. So maybe you play there because he's $15. But yeah, leave me out of Mike Vrabel at $8 and Ben Johnson at $7. I think they'll do a great job, but I don't think they'll win it. Geez, it'd be funny when we look back at this podcast. It would be pretty funny,
wouldn't it? Yeah.
I'd love to see what you guys think. If you're watching on YouTube or you're on socials or whatnot, listening to this on audio platforms, let us know what you think in all these categories. It's really cool to hear all your opinions because we can keep the receipts for good or the worse later in the year. Well, we've been going for about 30 minutes, and this is what everyone wants to know. We've already done our early predictions. Now that there's been a few signings, we've seen a few injuries, a little bit of movement. Let's go to the MVP, and I want you to give me your selection and your roughie.
Gee, there's some low price there, isn't there, right now? My one, I think he can go back to back. I think he can do it. Right now, he's in his absolute prime. He's playing some outstanding ball right now. What he was able to do last year was incredible, and I just think teams find it really, really hard to be able to stop what he's capable of doing, and that's Josh Allen. At 650 right now, I just think he's just the best. He's honestly the best, and I know you can argue that. Lamar's obviously an absolute star. He put up some serious numbers last year, but I just love the way Josh Allen goes about his business. And at 650, I think he's a genuine chance to be able to go back to back.
I'm just searching how many quarterbacks have gone back to back as MVP, and I don't think there's a lot, Sip. Does that concern you?
Not at all. Not at all. Not one bit, my friend.
It's hard
when you're the best and you continue to put up the numbers, you just go and get it done. So right now, that's who I'm going with. All right. Records are made to be broken, mate. And
you're right.
I think Josh Allen is more than capable of the guy to be able to do it. And my little smoky, I thought he was going to be a little higher than this, but be on the lookout for Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout.
He's not really a smoky. In fact,
that's what I'm saying. I thought he would be a little bit higher. I looked at it and I was like, oh, he's a smoky. But then I'm like, geez, $11.
Why do you think he'd be a bit higher?
I don't know. I thought there'd be a couple of other guys. I honestly thought that maybe Jalen would be a bit lower priced than $21. Jalen Hurts, I thought, at this present time.
You know why Jaden Daniels is fifth in the market?
Oh, well.
Because he's going to win it.
Well, he's going to win it. Isn't he? You reckon he's going to win it?
He's just today's news.
He's the other one, isn't he? Like, I just thought maybe he'd be a little bit higher, maybe a couple of second-year blues and that. Not that I really expect it, but who knows? But $11, I just thought, yeah, maybe there's things that we don't know that other people do know. But he's a star.
He's a superstar.
Just the second year, the only thing, like, it's a second year. Like, do they give it to somebody else? It's just been just top notch. And, he's shaking his head over there, Tommy boy. So he's clearly got his head set.
I'm all in on Washington.
The commander.
I am all in on Washington this year. They've recruited so well.
Well, you've jinxed them because you're all in on the Jets last year, and look what happened there. So well done, mate.
A bit of carry on. Then I've learnt my lesson there. I'm Steelers, take the under. Take the under on the Steelers unless they get a good backup quarterback, which they do actually. They drafted a nice one.
They did.
Jaden Daniels at $11. He's fifth in the market. Not many MVPs have won the Super Bowl. I don't see Washington winning the Super Bowl. They might make it. I'll get to that in a second. Mm-hmm. But Jaden Daniels, it's the way he goes about it. He's very calm. Seen a lot of people talk about him. There's no yo-yo effect. He just rides the weekly grind. He loves to win. Mm-hmm. And the fact they just signed Terry McLaurin on that 3-year deal.
Huge.
And they've got Debo in the building, and they just traded Brian Robinson Jr. They've got another young gun running back, and they've got a lot of good running backs. Talk about a committee. That's a committee. Jaden can use his legs. One of the most accurate deep balls going around. And when you watch them, they just don't turn the ball over. They're so hard to get the ball back. On fourth down, they go for it. I love their coaching. Yep. I just think they've got everything. And they picked up some defensive weapons.
They did.
Their defense could probably get a little bit better in the secondary. That's probably their downfall. But they put enough pressure on that D-line, then who knows? So I think Jaden Daniels at $11, he is the guy that I love for MVP. Mm-hmm. My Smoky, again, it talks to the Chargers. I'm leaning Chargers. I don't know if it's because of Madison Beer and the big fella's just going around and he's humming, but I think Justin Herbert at $21, he's seventh in the market. I was actually a bit flat with that. I thought he should have been a little bit more, but again, I'm going back to that O-line. The Chargers will give him a bit more time. He has failed on the big stage. And people have told me the same thing because I'm a Ravens fan. They're like, Lamar can't do it in the big games. It's all bullshit in my opinion. I think Justin Herbert can have a massive year. Yeah. He's a really good quarterback. He gets a strong, I think they get a strong O-line now so they can protect him. That's been the worry the last 3 years. He's just been mauled, a bit like Joe Burrow. That's why I'm not going Joe Burrow. I think he'll be up there, but I'm actually concerned he might get banged up. Like even in the preseason games where he was running around like a chook without a head, and I'm going, this is not what you want to see when you've got, I don't know how much money they're spending on just him and Higgins and Chase. So Justin Herbert, $21. I know Lamar's up the market. I know the guy that you mentioned, Allen, is right up there, but I just think Jaden Daniels, $11. Juice, take it. That's mine.
Love it. Good work, Tommy.
Well, that takes us to the Super Bowl predictions.
Jeez.
AFC, NFC.
Going out early.
We're going to go early. It's that time of the year, Sip. Nine sleeps. Can you believe it? I'm bloody excited.
I actually am excited by it.
Who are you tipping to take out the AFC?
The Bills.
Wow. Still sticking with them?
Yeah.
You think the Ravens can't give him a touch-up? Last time they played those turnovers, Mark Andrews dropping a soda. He won't do that again. You think the Bills can beat them?
Yep. Plain and simple.
Got enough weapons?
I'm not giving you anything else, mate. They're going to get it done.
Why? Why are they going to get it done? What, just because the quarterback?
Nah, not just because the quarterback. I think Cook's continuing to get better as a running back. I think he's more dangerous than what people give him credit for. His numbers were actually very, very impressive last year. So I think he's definitely going to help with it. And I don't think people give him as much credit as they do on their defense. Like, McDermott is an unbelievable coach. Their defense is just well-rounded. They know how to get the job done. And I just think that's why they're going to be able to press for the issue this year. So I think the Bills can take out the AFC this year.
There you go. I'm just looking at the market. They are second in the market. The Ravens are first, and then they're second at $7.50.
Fair enough. On paper, I can understand that for sure.
And another one that I like to you could probably wait for this market. It doesn't really fluctuate. If you're a favourite, there's no real value in going early.
No.
It's only if you're going to go a roughie.
Yeah, agree.
All right, give me your NFC.
Give me my NFC winner.
Have you got the Eagles hat on, or have you taken it off?
No, I've taken it off. I have taken it off. I still think they'll be right up there.
They've lost a lot.
But they have lost a lot on defense. I'll be very interested to see how that goes.
AJ Brown,
Vic Fangio is an absolute star. Don't get me wrong. Like, he will come up with some things, and they are young and explosive. So I still think that they'll be difficult. I just think experience does a fair bit to you. They haven't lost anybody on the offense. Yes, AJ hasn't had a lot of practices. But they have a beast in Saquon, so I think that can make up for it okay. But the one that is for me, and you have mentioned them, is the Washington Commanders. And I think that, a few weeks ago, I would have said the Rams. Like, I actually love the Rams. But Stafford not being their quarterback potentially and not being able to get up scares me off a little bit. 2 or 3 weeks ago, I would have been all in on them. I think their defense is legit. Adding Devontae Adams, unbelievable running back, and Kyron Williams. If Stafford can stay healthy, then I can start to see that. But he makes me shy away from it a little bit. So
is that just the media?
No. I think that. He's only practiced for a week. Like, that's.
Does he need to practice?
Well, I think you still need to be out and practicing during, whether or not you don't have to play games.
Yeah.
But I still think you need to be practicing. You've just got a massive weapon in Devontae Adams. You need to build chemistry.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit what anyone says. You are a star quarterback with your star wide receiver, but you still need to build chemistry. So that might take a few weeks. That's a bit longer than what you would like. And how much trouble is that back going to give him throughout the course of the year? We'll have to wait and see, won't we? But if he can't stay out there regularly, that kind of shies me and gets me a little bit nervous. And you have mentioned this team, but the Commanders, they're scary. And I can see it. What they did last year and go in, the Eagles were the much better team last year. what they did in the NFC Championship game, the Eagles are the much better team. They've got better on now, and the Commanders can shake it up, and I think they're the chance to be able to pull out the NFC.
There you go. Well, I love the way you are talking. They're 8th in the market for the Super Bowl. $19. I think they're 4th favourite in the NFC if you go by those odds. I can't believe San Fran is sitting there at 6th. What am I don't rate San Fran at all.
Missing? Are we missing something? Are we going to get hit with like the Bills that we did last year? Because last year you and I weren't on the Bills.
They lost a lot, didn't they?
We lost a lot and we weren't too sure. And they came out and they did what they needed to do and they were unbelievable. But are we missing something? Is San Fran the team that we're not putting any of our tickets on and all of a sudden they're going to be this? I'm not sure. I don't know.
For me, they've missed their window.
You can't trust McCaffrey. Like, unfortunately, you can't.
You can for the first month.
But month doesn't get you anywhere.
If he goes down, it's huge problems.
Where do you go? The wide receiver room is so thin right now.
Kittle's there at least.
I know Kittle's there, but, I mean, teams can go to him. And he needs to block. What are they going to do? Rush the quarterback? What does Kittle need to do? Kittle needs to go and block. I think maybe they picked up a couple extra guys on defense. It's good. Fred Warner's a star. I get it, but yeah. Yeah, maybe we're missing something. I'm not sure.
Okay. They lost Ward as well, didn't they?
They did. Yeah, I'm not sure. So maybe that's just one to keep an eye on. But they're quite short.
I can't work out why the Commanders aren't ahead of them. Anyway, we'll find out in the first month.
We'll find out, won't we? But at $10, it's not much. Obviously, it's 10 compared to 11. It's not much, but still, equal third in the pricing right now and in the odds. And yeah, I just find that a little bit surprising.
Who wins the Super Bowl? Bills, Commanders for you.
Yeah, it's the Bills. I think the Bills can do it.
There you go. That's going to be very interesting to see. I'm going to go with the Ravens to play the Commanders and the Ravens to take it out. And I think with Jaden Daniels winning MVP, not many win MVP and then win the Super Bowl. So I am. That is my prediction. I'm loving that. $7 for Baltimore Ravens. It's like. This is their year, really, for me. This is their year. They can stay healthy. I think they've got everything. Lamar Jackson's report the other day was concerning. There's apparently there might be something there, but who knows what you can believe. I just
agree.
They can really get in your head, the media.
Agree.
The last questions I want to say to you, this is I didn't even give you any prep, but who's the biggest fall for you? Who's the club that kind of dominated last year that you can see them having a bit of a mare this year?
The one team that stands out to me is the Minnesota Vikings.
Bang. It's exactly what I thought.
Yeah. I think their defense is still relatively solid, but the offense worries me big time. And I think they're the team that I can just see right now falling off a little bit. Maybe it's easy to say because they were 14-3 last year, maybe, but
straight sets.
When you lose the last round to Detroit, to obviously not get the 5th set to get the number 1 seed, and then you are out the next week. I think they're the team that I can see falling away.
That's the exact same team. And I actually asked Roquan Smith this question, and he said the same thing. He goes, I think they overperform massive. And, it's good to hear what he thinks.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to think of the team that he said that would be good as well. I can't remember what team he said, but there was one that it surprised me that he thought would be really good. What about the other way around, the biggest rise? Who's a team that you can see rising?
Broncos.
Yeah.
I know they finished 7th last year. So you go, is it a big rise? But again, I think they win their division. And I think they get a home playoff, and who knows what they can do. I think the team that can be on the rise and can shake it up in the AFC and maybe just give you a little bit of a challenge is the Denver Broncos. Nice. So I think they're the team that I can see on the rise.
I'll go with the Chicago Bears.
Ooh.
I reckon they can shake that division up.
Wow.
Last year it was a bit of a, 3-horse race.
Yep.
I reckon they can jump in there. And I'm a little concerned about the Detroit Lions. Still think they'll perform really well. But can they stay at the same level without all those offensive and defensive coordinators and a little bit of movement?
Yeah.
I think they'll be great for fantasy.
Yeah.
But in terms of where they finish as a team, I'm interested to see Green Bay Packers. They've got a lot on defense, but there's a few concerns on offense as well at wide receiver.
Slip, didn't they? The Lions.
Yeah.
They let one slip.
But Aiden Hutchinson, you got to.
I know. They had a lot of guys on defense.
They get pressure quarterbacks. It doesn't really matter what's in the secondary.
They had a lot of guys on defense that were quality that did miss out. There's no doubt. And I know it was going to catch up to them at some stage, but you can't help but think still that will that affect them? Will an expectation just go a little bit too high? So it is definitely one to watch.
It's one to watch. And to everyone that's watching or listening to this podcast, thank you so much for your support. We've got a little bit of a fun one. We want, I don't know about you, Sip, but the American Aces and my personal DMs are just flooded with 28-year-old males asking me about their fantasy team. So we would like you to DM all your teams in if you want us to review them. We're going to do something next week where me and Sip will get all your teams up and we're just going to review all your fantasy sides and give you a little bit of a rating and tell you where you lean and where you're going really well. Clearly, there's different rules, 2 QB, 1 QB, half PPR, PPR. Yep. As I said on our Instagram post, we like to go half PPR, 1 QB, 2 RB, 2 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 2 flex, and 1 defense. But, if you're new to the game, that's what I'd recommend you do. To tease next week, we're going to do our divisions, and we're going to do them in order so that you can get an idea. I'm going to do a little sneak preview for you, but the Colts are someone that's actually also might be a bit of a rise. They've got a lot on defense this year, I reckon. Yep. And Jonathan Taylor, he was a bit banged up last year. I reckon, the quarterback's a bit of a concern, but the O-line's normally good. They've got Pittman. They've got a couple of weapons. That Mitchell, second-year receiver, gets no love. Yeah. So watch that space.
Yeah, I like it.
To everyone that wants to get around us, again, the 6th of September, the Osborne in Melbourne, we're doing an NFL and an AFL event. We're going to be putting on an absolute clinic. There's going to be plenty of boys that are rolling through all our talent that's available. We're going to have a live show. We're going to watch the Chargers versus the Chiefs. And if the Chargers can take the Chiefs down on that Saturday, that will be massive, massive for our future bets, especially Coach of the Year.
I'll tell you that.
So we'll be cheering against the Chiefs just because the Chiefs are so good. So make sure, if you haven't seen it, there's an Eventbrite invitation there. The tickets are free, but you've got to purchase them just so we can see how many people are rocking up, and we're going to take over the rooftop. That's going to be plenty of fun, so make sure you check that out. Sip, I think that's all I've got.
That's all I got, mate. Another great one. As I said, not long to go now, and I am super pumped.
I know. Well, you need to go do a little bit more prep so you and Guinea can get over the hurdle at the end of the year because, second last year, runners up.
Don't you worry, mate. Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
Big week next week. We've got our live stream. That's right, draft night. Regan Bayless takes the 3 votes every year. But we have a huge fantasy league. As I said, the syndicates that we've got, they're building. There's about 28 athletes in our NFL fantasy league this year. It's all locked up, and it's going down next Wednesday at 7 p.m. on YouTube. It's a live stream, so check that out. We'll be doing our podcast next week as well. So plenty more to come, but hope you enjoyed our NFL future bets and mainly the NFL awards for 2025-26. Let us know what you think. Otherwise, we'll see you same time next week. Cheers.
Wait for it. Go!
The bounce of the footy, roar of the crowd. It hits different, just like the PointsBet app. Now with a faster design, AFL Bet Tracker to follow every disposal, each player's last 5 stats, plus video previews from AFL experts. This is betting made for true footy fans.
PointsBet, built different. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.